I got the horse right here.
Hello racing fans and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Hedsel with Drew Forster. We're going to go through these Saturday, September 19th races. The season is... we still got a month to go, but still we're heading into some big races.
Full swing right now as far as stakes races go. Before we get into the Saturday card, actually, we're going to go back. Last Sunday was BC Derby Day. There was 4 stakes on hand. We're going to take a look at 2 of them today and 2 tomorrow. We'll look at the first 2 today. First one was the first race on the card last Sunday. This is the Delta Colleen for older fillies and mares going a mile and an eighth. Horses to keep an eye on here. Dear Lily, the 3. Touching Promise, the 2. These are the 2 that are going to go out to the lead.
Yeah, Touching Promise broke really well.
Breaks good and gets the lead.
Didn't know how the pace scenario was going to play out, but Dear Lily, I mean, they have to rate the horse to get a mile and an eighth, and Always Miss, who broke absolutely terribly.
She walked out of there,
6 or 7 lengths. She's kind of rushed up into contention. But Touching Promise, really not where she wants to be. I know it's 23-3. Who doesn't want to be in the lead? But this filly is a far better filly when she has a target to run at and on the outside of a horse. But I guess you can't complain about your position when you have 23-3 and a 1-length lead.
Yeah, you don't. It's not like he wants to pull her back off of that and try and give somebody else the lead. And obviously she's doing it easy, and she doesn't have much pressure.
She's got a half of 48, which is very doable.
Generous.
Amber Moon's creeping into it a little early, and Lockett is currently the back marker, but she's going to come rolling late. But Touching Promise and Amadeo Perez, pretty comfortable out down the lead. Dear Lily's going to come and put some pressure on the backstretch, and Ollie's missed down on the inside. Pretty much,
she kind of backs out of it. Yeah,
it's too bad. She's a great filly. No one can ever take away anything she did last year. She was an absolute.
She's just not the 4-year-old that she was as 3-year-old.
Moved on to the next level. Here comes Amber Moon, putting pressure on 3 wide.
Dear Lily runs a big race for a filly.
She does. Here comes Lockett. Lockett at the quarter pole here, just sneaks up on the inside. Never has to go around a horse other than Touching Promise and Dear Lily. She gets a great trip through here on the inside. Couldn't have been any better. Touching Promise, still, it's kind of nip and tuck. Who's going to win between Dear Lily and Touching Promise?
Dear Lily running a big one here.
But Touching Promise does open about a length here at the 16th pole. But things get very interesting.
Yeah, as Lockett makes a very impressive run at her. And...
amazingly, Touching Promise did last for RJ and Lois Bennett, Barb Heads, and Amadeo Perez.
I was in the paddock actually with Barb, and I watched it, and I was like, "You won it." And then I started walking down towards the winner's circle, and they showed the slow motion replay, and it looked like Lockett won it. I was going to turn around and yell at Frankie, "Hey, don't go back to the barn. Yeah, you might have won it."
I watched the photo. I saw the actual photo. It was like this, like 2 pieces of paper. It was like that thin. The difference between Lockett and Touching Promise. But I agree with you. Like, watching it live, I thought Touching Promise
I thought she won it.
Have her head down. Watching the slow-mo, I thought she got it. But then I saw watching the slow-mo after, it was really close, though.
Yeah.
But you see the photo. There was only 2, it was a sliver at the wire. But
tough way to lose, but congratulations, obviously, to Barb Heads, Mr. and Mrs. R.J. Bennett, and Amadeo Perez. Touching Promise takes 2 in a row. Getting the Delta Colleen.
Yeah,
that's right. She's got 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, she's got 2 in a row, and quite happy to see Arabella's Muse, the resident, the champion, or the top filly in the division, currently on the sidelines, but she's missed the last 2, and Touching Promise has taken full advantage of it.
The next one we're going to look at here was the older boys' turn. This was the 6th race on the card. Horse to keep an eye on here. Number 3, Don't Mess with Kitten. Who
he ran great.
Runs a spectacular race of big odds.
I haven't been sending him for whatever reason. He's been coming from out of it.
Yeah. Well, the best race he'd run so far here this year.
Brass and Gold's right on him.
Came from off it.
And Brass and Gold takes back.
Breaks good as he always does.
Yeah, I know he leaves there. And here comes Mysterious Soul up to put pressure on Don't Mess with Kitten. Brass and Gold never gets to the rail. Rico Walcott got up there with Shooting Jacket. I had no idea how. That's the first rider that can get Shooting Jacket to lay in the top 3.
Yeah.
Rico is so good. And then
Square Dancer's
last.
He's got 2 beat right now. He's on the outside.
I think he's last.
2 horses.
He's last.
Is he last?
He is dead.
That's right. That's right. Sorry. Yeah.
Wild Cat's second last, and it might be Taylor. It's Taylor Steele. Oh, it's Taylor Steele, the 7 horse.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sitting on the inside. And you'll watch the second turn. This tells me a lot about Square Dancer. He goes 5 deep here.
Really wide.
He is at least 4 to 5 deep here on the second turn. He got no favors done. We're just going to kind of, Don't Mess with Kitten and Mysterious Soul are going on with it. Brass and Gold settled. They went a half and 46 and 3, but But Richard and Square Dancer are out in the
They're out in the middle of the track.
They
Richard
are
obviously
in
just
the
wants to
middle
keep
of
him
the
running,
track.
but yeah, he is
Like, how good is this?
clocking up a
good
lot
right
of extra miles out there.
Like, that's hard to do. I mean,
Yeah.
this horse gets by Wildcat, gets by Taylor's Deal, gets by Shooting Jacket. And now
Here comes Brass and Gold.
Brass and Gold, who had a pretty
attempt.
nice trip, rolls into it nicely. He was coming back on short notice. He was only off a couple of weeks, but he may have flattened out because of that. But here comes Square Dancer,
Square
3
Dancer on
wide.
the outside,
But
and
don't
Shooting
mess
Jacket,
Kitten with the white
yeah.
blinkers isn't done on the inside.
And Shooting Jacket runs
comes-
a big
you're
one.
right,
He gets
comes up
through
the
on the
inside.
rail
There's
here.
4 of them across the track here.
Yeah.
Try and pick a winner. It was a great race. And
Square
they're pretty
Dancer,
much...
that's him coming up on the far outside. Don't Mess with Kitten just keeps digging in and
keeps
finding
digging.
more.
And stud colts are tough. They're tough to run by.
Another one that looks like he won. Don't Mess with Kitten, but no, Square Dancer got up to nip him for the
That's
Hastings
about his
Racing Club.
800th second. Don't mess with Kitten. I mean, this horse has run like 30 starts in his life.
Bit of a
He's
bridesmaid.
He's a cool horse. He runs great race, and
That was,
that's how the stud colts want to run. They want to be in
Too good to lose.
in contention and
And-
in a fighting position
yeah, in a
because
dog
they will
fight.
fight.
Yeah.
Because they will outgame, and they almost outgame Square Dancer. Square Dancer's just too good right now. Because he didn't get a great trip.
He is on his game. No, he didn't.
To the all 200
Hastings Racing
winners
Club.
of the Hastings Racing Club, Steve Henson.
Square
and of course,
Dancer
Richard
3 for
Hamill.
3, making a great bid for Horse of the Year.
I know,
here at
right?
Hastings.
He could be in there.
They might have to get a bigger venue for the awards.
I
dinner
don't
this
know
year.
if Newlands Golf Course is going to be big enough. That's just for the Hastings Racing Club. Might have to have the rest of the ceremony somewhere else. But congratulations.
Steve
Great
Henson,
day again.
Richard Hamill, and of course the Hastings Racing Club. On to the
Let's get into the races for Saturday.
Saturday. I'll go ahead.
You start. Go ahead.
First one, Fillies and Mares, non-winners of the year for 4,000, going 6.5 furlongs, or non-4.
Non-4. Yeah.
3 horses I juggled around. I couldn't decide between. I thought Miss Heatheridge looks like the one that's going to get the lead. She had the lead last time, was unlucky to get beat the last few jumps by Golden Ratio and Farniente. But they went in 22 and 2 and 45 and change.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent fraction for, these lower end mares. I got Miss Heatheridge on top. Jeff Birmingham suits her very well. He's been unlucky not to break through this condition so far. She's been very consistently knocking away. I put her in the top spot. I put Miss Rose Parade. Speaking of consistent, 6 for 6 in the money this year. Just got beat a length by Miss Heatheridge last time. I put her in the second spot. And Farniente, I put in the third spot, but you can juggle those two around any way you want. Farniente was unlucky to lose last time, only got beat ahead. But they set up a decent pace for her, and she came running.
Yeah.
And I think today Miss Heatheridge gets the lead by herself. I went 5, 4, and 1.
Yeah, I agree with you, Drew. Miss Heatheridge for me is the horse. I picked her the last 2 times. She's been very unlucky to lose on both occasions. She ran a winning race last time. For my money, she is better than Farniente. Miss Rose Parade is, a good, as you mentioned, a good, consistent horse. I think Miss Heatheridge and Farniente are better horses than Miss Rose Parade, who's exiting conditional races.
Yeah.
But she did step up and perform admirably last time. But Miss Heatheridge did all the fighting near the lead, and I just thought she was the best of the 3.
Yeah.
I went 5, 1, and 4. I just kind of twisted your top 3 around a little bit. On to race number 2. This is for 2-year-old fillies, maiden 25,000, going 6 furlongs. I'm going to take a shot on the 2-horse Sakura, who has worked well since dropping out of Stakes Company. Goes on the Lasix program also.
I like that move
That's a
on
big
the
plus.
Lasix
Pedro's going to ride. This filly has some speed, and I just like what I've seen in the mornings. And it was more of, she looks like a horse with a little bit of upside, where a lot of the other ones, I think they've shown me what they are, and they're going to run probably in 114 or something, a lot of these other horses, and I think Sakura is something that can run a little faster than that. So I think she's the horse for me. I put the 8-horse leading lady in for second. Antonio Reyes rides for Steve Henson. Goes in blinkers. Another upset chance here. This horse didn't get the best of trips at all last time. Leapt at the start, and I just think this one's a little bit better than its form shows. And
Aces over Queens too. Is that Kai's Command?
That's Kai's Command. Yeah. It's a good pedigree and a good page. Yeah, and this horse is worked very well. Heading into that last race, and I just think the blinkers went first time Lasix last time. I think there's some upside with this horse. Something maybe we try and point out horses that are maybe haven't shown their best yet, and maybe there's a reason why they will be 5 lengths better
forward,
than their last race. And I just think that's a horse maybe that might, move forward and will be good odds. And I put the 4-horse, who is a logical play here. Another one, blinkers on, Chestnut's Gold for Richard Hamill and Charlene Miller. A good race last time against similar company, and this horse has been pretty consistent all year.
Yeah.
I mean, been running incredible races. And the only one I left out were As Good as Gold, and this horse was claimed last time, but this horse could run well too. But I went 2, 8 and 4, but I do like Sakura quite a bit in here.
I actually went down to the rail, the one, Mini Fridge.
I know Randy likes that horse too.
Yeah,
Randy
I like
Golding,
Mini Fridge.
they
Broke bad
fine.
last time, was kind of never really got comfortable, couldn't find running room, still only got beat a length and 3/4.
I hate the rail, because I had the rail last time, broke bad. But
Yeah.
maybe second time out, break good, and then
Might
you're
break
okay.
better, but yeah, I know, and
breaks
back,
bad
back
again.
in the rail, she could get buried again. But I just thought, she had nothing go right her first start, and she still only got beat a length and 1/4, length and 3/4, whatever it was. If she got out earlier, I think she had a big shot to run good. That was only for 12.5. She does double her price, but Mike Anderson's pressing all the right buttons this year, our leading trainer, and him and Lopez do very well together. I put Sakura your top pick in the second spot. The reasons you mentioned, I like the move to Lasix. Obviously coming out of very tough races and drops into a softer spot. Pedro Alvarado rides, and I put We're As Good As Gold in the third spot. Heavily favored last time, and just kind of got the lead but fell apart. She only got beat a length and 3/4. But moves to a new barn. Frank Barrby generally is a pretty good claimant trainer. I put We're As Good As Gold on
But I
top.
agree with you. The 1 or 2 probably are the ones with the most chance to improve their form.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Their
Those
form
are the
looks
two
abysmal.
that I think could take a
my,
big
my
step
2 horse
forward.
looks
Yeah.
abysmal, but there's reasons for why. There's
Yeah.
tough company and there's some upside. You get.
I was looking for these
Lasix
horses, that are
changes.
coming out of tougher races. I just think Mini Fridge has got more of an upside, but Sakura does
I can
come out
see that. I
of
get
tough races.
I got no problem with that one.
Even the race before that, she ran a maiden special weight. So I went 1, 2, 6
problem
in the
with
second. Yeah, no problem with the Mini Fridge.
Wow, we love the Mini Fridge.
On to the third, 3-year-olds and up, 16,000. Non-2, non-3 for the BC Breds, going 6.5 for older colts and geldings. 6 horses signed up here. This is another one I took trouble. There's 2 horses I really like in here. I really like Wonderworld. Got beat last time. That was going long. But if you go back to his short races, he was running second behind Spirit River. Richter Red, he only got beat a length and 3/4 behind Richter Red in 1:16 and 2. So if he can produce that kind of effort here, he's a handful. And finally, Diamonds too. He just went long as well, but the time before that when he ran for 25 non-2 sprinting in Emerald, 6.5 furlongs, it went in 1:15 flat. Emerald is a little bit quicker track than here, but that's still smoking.
Yeah,
And he only got beat 6 lengths that day. I ended up going with Wonderworld because he's got a few more races under his belt, but finally Diamonds could be sitting on a big one too. Coming into his third race now, since 21st of June. Tough call. I went with Wonderworld over Finally Diamonds. Those are the two. If you're going to bet the pick 6 or whatnot, I would go with those 2. I threw in Forestry's Devil in the third spot. Just ran into Smart Focus, Mr. McCarty. That was a 3-year-old race, but I couldn't really decide who else in here. So I got 265.
Yeah, it's a really tough race to like grab onto one particular horse because they've failed so many times. Like Wonderworld has had a lot of chances to get out of the.
I remember,
Finally Diamonds.
The time before that, the Irish Romeo race, I remember thinking, if he doesn't win today, and he didn't. So, and then last time though, he ran in Laguna Blaze was well last time.
Won it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with the 2 and 6, but I'm not in love with them. I did. I'm right with you. I went 2-6. But I could see both of them running second and third again today, and someone else winning, Stone Ridge Ruler. Or
they are a bit of a bridesmaid.
I don't have a strong feeling in this race. If you're playing the pick 6, this would be a race where I would, if you can afford to go a little deep in it, I'd and play hit the all button, perhaps, because these horses are not reliable. I went 2 and 6. Wonderworld, I agree. Cutting back to a sprint, though, this is different for him. I probably should have picked Finally Diamonds on top, but I didn't because he's probably a better sprinter than Wonderworld. Yeah. And he does own a win. His sprint races aren't bad. And the 3 horse, I put PS Betting on You in for third. But this horse just broke his maiden, was clean, moves to a new barn. We'll see if that horse moves forward at all. But once again, I didn't fall in love with anyone. They've had a lot of chances. These are tough horses to absolutely fall in love with. So, but I did go 2, 6, and 3 in the third. On to the fourth race, maiden $4,000 fillies and mares, going 1 mile and a 16th. And I think the contention has to be the 1 Rio Hana and the 3 Shayless Rose. There wasn't much between them last time. I know the 12.5 claiming price. They're not really dropping. This is just those races were similar horses. I don't. Horses that ran in behind them are running for 4 and not winning. So, I mean, out of that 12-5 race. But I think those are your 2 horses. Yeah. I went 1, 3, and I put the 5 Rosalie B. I didn't have there's not a lot to say. I think pretty much the 1 and 3 are your horses. I went 1, 3, 5.
I got the same horses. Rio Hana ran a good one last time, 4, 12, 5, as you mentioned. Anasazi last just got a late kind of Smoked her at the
nailed
end
her
there,
at
yeah.
the end. But that was her
kinda
first
come
run
up
in a couple of months. And,
took
she's
the
had
life out of
hiccups
her.
in her schedule, Rihanna.
But
Obviously
I think,
not the soundest
yeah, that was
filly,
only the
but
14th of August, so coming back and into 4, I like her a lot. I got Rio Anna on top. Shayla's Rose, as you mentioned, another one that's been knocking on the door throughout the year.
Yeah.
And it could be
big
her
races.
graduation day. She's been running big races.
Catching Fire won the other day, lost to that one. Bubbly on it.
Yeah.
She's run into some good horses, Shayla's Rose,
Yeah,
but
she
just kind
has.
of unlucky.
And then Rosalie B, I put in the third spot. I got the same 1-3-5. I'm the same. On to the 5th, Fillies and Mares. 4, non-2, mile and a tick. Field of 8. No, there's more. 10, sorry. I went to the 2 Biscuit here. She's been knocking on the door in those 8,000s. Last time she ran 3rd behind Catalina, Quiet Finality. Before that, she ran in a 3-year-old race with 4th in command and Sky Victorious. She was claimed for 8. She went up to 16, then hung around the 8 for a while. Now Mel Snow drops her in for 4. I think she's a handful in here. It's her or Bubbly on Ice. Bubbly on Ice is a 4-year-old, so although it's getting near the end of the year, so the distance between the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds is not quite as big. Bubbly on Ice, another one in here with a big shot. She comes out of that same race. It was only a neck between her and Biscuit, so take your pick between those two. I did put Biscuit on top of Bubbly on Ice. And I put, who did I put in the 3rd spot? The 8. Yakula. Another one in the 4. Yeah. Well, she got beat by Flare Miss last time, and Flare Miss was very well meant in the non-4 category. Came back to win her non-3 the time after that. So Flare Miss was a tough one down at this level. I put her in the 3rd spot. I went 2, 4, 8.
Yeah, I agree with your top 2. Biscuit, I think maybe the best horse in the race. I don't know if it's her best distance, amount of 16th. She'll need to prove it. Bubbly on Ice has proven it. She's a route horse. She won her maiden couple starts back going along. And that's the big key for me, and that's why I went to her to win it. I went Bubbly on Ice, the 4, over the 2 Biscuit, and I put the 3 Diamond Pusher, who I don't think this horse will mind stretching out to a mile 16. She just, I don't know, she didn't get the greatest of trips. She was just kind of even, one-paced, and maybe sometimes those horses will do well going along. The horses that have that one steady speed. And I went 4, 2, and 3, but I think Bubbly on Ice and Biscuit, I agree, are your top 2. On to the 6th race, started your late double. $4,000 Colson Geldings here, non-2, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 8-horse Mario's Win. I like the cut back from a mile and a 16th to 6.5 furlongs. His prior races were very good going short, losing to Legion of Boom, and I just think this is
Legion of Boom was a big dropper. Kiss him goodbye.
I just went to Mario's Win more because I just don't. Typhoon Taylor is fallen off form. Paz Believe, and I guess, just broke his maiden for 4, but I guess this horse could move forward. Goliath, I lost total faith in after that last race. Nana's Buddies, an in and outer. This is the moment. That was a good runner-up effort. The time is very inflated at 1:16 and change, but don't go overboard on that. But this horse is still alive. Dealership, will he come out of the gate? I don't know. He dwelt.
I stayed away from him because of that.
So basically, I just went to Mario's Win because there's just so many.
The question marks.
I don't want.
The question marks. So many other places.
So I went 8, 3, and 2. I went. This is the moment second, who could easily win the race. And Dealership could easily win too if he wants to break. He's dropping from 16, but I mean, I stayed away from Catching Fire last week. Who dwelt, and the horse did break, and much the best.
But he dwelt once.
Yeah.
Dealership's done it twice now. That's why I stayed away from Dealership.
I know. I went 8, 3, 2.
I went with the 3. This is the moment. They did go in 16 and change last time. I know it might have been a little flattered, but he's run into, before that, he ran into Crackdown. It was a big dropper. Then Samilkameen Luke, who was well meant, and he was almost 5 lengths ahead of the 3rd horse. So I put This Is the Moment on top. As well, Hamill had some options in here, and he went with This Is the Moment. I put Mario's Win in the 2nd spot. And Goliath. I put Goliath in the 3rd spot. He was heavy favorite last time. I know it's easy to lose faith in him last time, but he was pretty far back, and they went in 50 for the half, like 49 for the half, where he just lost all chance. So I'll give him a shot in here. Maybe if there's a bit more pace in here, look for him to come running. I went 3, 8, and 5 in the 6th. On to the nightcap, 7th race, claiming 4,000 for older boys.
And girls. There's one girl in here. Honey Skila.
Oh, Honey Skila's in here. She's taking part.
Got a mare in here.
I went to Brother Chunky. He basically just won this race, beat Jordan's Quest.
Beat everyone.
Yeah, probably the other really tough horse in here, Jordan's Quest, by 4 lengths. Jordan's Quest went in 45 and 4 by himself, though. He got the lead. Well, he was hooked.
Those fractions are wrong, by the way. I should know.
Oh, are they?
They're 45 and 1 is the half.
45 and 1.
45 and 1. I went back and watched the replay because I wanted to see who went with Jordan's Quest last time, and it was honestly awesome.
That's
and they killed each other off, and I just looked at the half. And sometimes when you're charting upstairs, I know that the sun late in the day, if you're in the last race or whatever, sometimes the glare can hit the the teletimer. But the half was 45-28 or something. It was 45-28, so it was 45 and 1, and that's. Anyway, just to get that, it was 45 and 1.
So 45 and 1, but
let everyone know.
But it worries me again that he's got Prince Peace Herbie in here, and Prince Peace Herbie didn't press last time.
I rated him last time.
But I think he'll go this time. So I see him compromising Jordan Quest's chances. So I put Brother Chunky on top. My good old friend, Chapel Boy.
You got to go back to him.
He gets good this time of year. Last year at this time, he reeled off 2 wins in a row. He's good on a wet track. He's got 3 of his 6 wins are over wet track. It's probably going to be a muddy track
this weekend. Mr. and Mrs. Harold Larrabee, owner Roy McLeod and Drew Forrester. On Chapel Boy, I can't see.
Big
I can't see
Chapel Boy. I got Chapel Boy in the second spot, and he gets Pedro.
No, it's all good. No, that horse.
And Jordan's Quest in the third spot. I went 5, 6, and 4.
I flip-flopped your top 2. I went Jordan's Quest because I'm hoping that there's no
if nobody goes with him,
here. And he did go 22, 45, 1, and Brother Chunky did take advantage. But Brother Chunky, I agree with you. Brother Chunky's the best horse.
He seems the horse of these, yeah.
But Jordan's Quest will be better this time. He may not, cave in the last 16th of a mile. But I went 4 or 5, and I put the 2 horse Prince of Peace Herbie in for third. I went 4 or 5 and 2 to close it out. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday program. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our selections. Back in race number 1, I did go to the 5. Miss Heatheridge, 5-1-4 for me in the Saturday opener. Race number 2, I'm going to go to the 2 Sakura, 2-8 and 4. Race number 3, the 2 Wonderworld over the 6 Finally Diamonds, and the 3 PS Betting on You. Race number 4, started the late pick 4. I went to the 1 Real Hana, 1-3-5. In the 4th, race number 5, went to the 4 Bubbly on Ice, 4-2 and 3. And in the 6th race, went to the 8 Mario's Win over the 3. This is the moment, but definitely 2 horses in your pick 6s, pick 4s, whatever. 3 and 8 are your horses. I went 8-3-2. In the 7th and final, I went and a try with the 4 Jordan's Quest to beat the favorite, number 5, Brother Chunky. I went 4, 5, and 2 on to Drew's picks.
There we go. In the first, I agree with Mike. I went with the 5 Miss Heatheridge over the 4 and the 1. In the second, I went to the 1 Mini Fridge over the 2 and the 6. In the third, I went to the 2 Wonderworld over the 6 and the 5. In the fourth, I went to the 1 Rio Hana over the 3 and the 5. In the fifth, number 2 Biscuit over the 4 and the 8. In the 6th, I went to the 3 This Is the Moment over the 8 and the 5. And in the nightcap, the 7th, I went to the 5 Brother Chunky over the 6 and the 4.
All right, that'll do it for the Saturday edition of Handicappers Corner. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we've given you a little insight on the Saturday card. They're not the stake stars on Saturday, but we'll get into the stake section on Sunday with the futurity,
with the 2 futurities,
the Jack Diamond and the Sadie Diamond futurity, 2 $100,000 races. But it's still fun to bet on nice big fields with hard trying $4,000 and $8,000 and $16,000, claiming type horses. They're still cool dudes.
And a little wonky 2-year-old race thrown in there for good measure.
Yes, just to add a little fun to
Which will be the start of the pick 6.
See this pick 6 that has a $42,000. What is it? 40?
Well, no, it started the day at 42, so it'd be up around 50.
Yeah. It's actually close to $50,000 now. But we don't have the exact number, but it is close to $50,000.
It'll probably be 50 by the time all
it'll be over 50. Yeah. So definitely have a look at the 20-cent. It's just a 20-cent wager. You can get quite a bit of coverage in the Sea to Sky Pick 6. You do have to be the lone winner, though, to win the jackpot pool. You, of course, will get paid for the most amount of winners if you do pick 6 and 2 or 3 other people pick 6. You will, of course, join in on a consolation pool, but you won't win the big jackpot. But still, it's a worthy venture. You don't need to spend a lot of money to maybe get a lot back.
For 20 to 30 bucks, you
can get pretty good coverage. You've got a shot to win 50 or 60,000 on the Saturday program, so that'll be a lot of fun. But that does start in race number 2. Well, that'll do it. Thanks very much for tuning in. On behalf of Drew, we'll see you next time here at the Derby Barn Grill.